Hi, welcome to Robyn's Roost. Today I'm working with the sending dies. So it is a bundle, right? We've got the stamp set, Sending Smiles, which has this wonderful big word, sending, and then 8 phrases that you can use with it, some flowers and greenery. And then it also has the matching die set, okay? And I'm going to show you those a little bit later when I flip the camera. But I wanted to talk today about different ways of stamping and die cutting the large sending greeting, because there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? So let me show you a couple different ways we can do this. So let's take a look at the dies to begin with. Okay, so we have, I should have those. Usually I put these in an envelope and then put them in here, but I haven't got that yet. So we have all these wonderful dies that match the flowers and the leaves. And then we have a small and a large label die to use with the phrases. And then to me, the star of the show are these 2 large word dies that cut out the word sending, right? So this is a smaller, like you did it with a pencil, and this is like a shadow, right? So there's a couple ways that we can cut these out, right? And I'm going to focus today on the shadow die. So I'm not even going to use this one. That one's pretty self-explanatory. You cut it out, and then you're going to layer it on top of the shadow, or you're going to use it by itself. But that's really the beauty of this set, is that there are so many ways that you can use it. So let's just take out our sending stamp and get it mounted on a block. So the first, and probably one that needs the least explanation, right, is we would stamp it on a piece of paper, and then let me move this out of the way so I don't land in it. And then we're going to, let me pull in our little mini. This is an awesome little tool. I'm so happy about it. This is one of the things that I didn't need, or know I needed, until I had it. So then we're going to try to line this up, right? So, you know, none of these ways is either right or wrong. It's whatever you get most comfortable with. But you can take some washi tape or removable tape and tape that on. If you have the magnet plate is not quite available yet for this, or you could use your magnet plate on your large machine. It might stay down better, but because of the length of it, I have trouble with this one staying put. So we can do it that way, right? And that matches pretty darn good. Now we can also, let's bring our die cutter back in here. I'm going to set that stamp off to the side. Anything inky is fair game for landing on stuff, right? Okay, so now let's take our die and we're just going to cut the word out first. And like I said, none of these ways is right or wrong. They're just different ways of doing it. And, you know, what works for me might not work for you. So I'm showing you 3 different ways. So we can cut it out. And then this way is a little bit tougher with the camera overhead. So we can die cut out our paper, and then I would have my head right over top of it if I were doing this for real. not in a video. I can see I didn't get this lined up very good. Okay, so it's not terrible, but it is definitely a little bit off, right? So that's the second way. You can die cut it first and then stamp. And now here is, I'm going to show you the third way, which I think is the most accurate and probably the best if you're doing like a bunch of cards, right? One card isn't so bad. If you goof up, you can stamp two, right? Okay. So now, and I already have my mask created, so I'm not going to make another one, but I'm pretty sure you can understand the concept. So I cut this out. I'm using my Stamparatus, right? I cut this out of this piece, and I use this all the time as my mask. Now, I like to cut it in the middle so it's not up in the corner, but you can do it however you like. So when you're using this, make sure everything is pushed up into the corner. Kind of grab it here and push up towards this corner. Make sure everything's all nice and tight. Put your magnet on. Then we're going to, since we had our stamp all inky, we're going to clean our stamp off. Looks like my fingers are pretty inky too. And we're going to nestle our stamp right in there. Now, if you're going to do a bunch of these, I would suggest you you would pick this up, ink it, and maybe stamp in there to make sure that everything was lined up. Well, we can do that. What the heck? Okay, so we'll just give it a little bit of ink. We'll put it down and we'll see if we have it right. Looks pretty darn close, right? So if you had something not quite right, you could take your stamp off and reposition it, right? Before you ever stamped on your piece that you're going to use on your card or cards. This is, like I said, this is great for when you're doing a whole bunch. So you're just going to nestle that piece right back in there. And then go ahead and stamp it. Now the cool thing about the Stamparatus, if for some reason you had a bit that didn't go on, like, oh, right here, I can see on here that I have some ink left that didn't transfer. So then I can just put this back down, push a little bit harder on the spot that didn't transfer, and there, it came right off. So that is the nice thing about the Stamparatus, right? So there you have, let me move this out of the way, 3 different ways, right? Stamparatus, taping the die, or eyeballing it and freehanding it. So they all work, but my favorite is making the mask for the Stamparatus. So what's your favorite? Let me know. And if you need to purchase any supplies, anything, but right at the moment we're talking about the Sending Smiles bundle with the dies. Go ahead and hop on over to my store and pick up a set for yourself. Thanks for stopping by and have a great day.